Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's getting started September 2nd, 2021. Starting to get a little nippy up here in Michigan. I can tell because it's starting to get achy again. Well, I was achy before, but it's yeah. It always gets worse when it gets cold. So I want to talk about I'm about to go in this Dollar General right quick, pick up some stuff. So I figure I haven't done a car video in a while, so I'll do a quick car video. I want to talk about being too nice. Being too nice. I want to do another video talking about learning how to say no. I'm not going to combine topics. I'm going to do two separate videos. So I want to do another video talking about learning how to say no. So that's going to be a whole another video topic. But this time I want to talk about being too nice. There's such a thing as being too nice. Being nice to a fault. And the reason why I want to talk about this because that's my issue. That's my problem. I struggle with that. I struggle with being too nice, being nice to a fault. If you are a type of person that's you have kind of a giving spirit, you like to help people. I kind of can get into the mode where I have a giving spirit and I like to help people whenever I can. If I can't help, then that's one thing. But if I can help somebody, if I'm in a position to help somebody, I try to help them if I'm in a position to help. But on top of that, I'm a very kind person, and that's part of being a Christian. But that's like I'm like that anyway. And I don't call myself Sweet June for nothing. There's a reason why I call myself Sweet June. It's not just I'm calling myself just to call myself that. Trust me, it's a reason why I call myself Sweet June. Because sometimes I can be sweet to a fault. And I know, let me know in the comment section if some of you suffer from this. If some of you, I also have an issue with saying no. But like I said, I'm going to talk about that in a whole separate video. Hit me up in the comment section if you guys have an issue with being too nice. We live in a world where everybody, a lot of people are for themselves, and it's a lot of people in the world that uses people, take advantage of people. You got a lot of skimmers and scammers out here, and I grew up with a certain set of values, and a lot of people did. Other people did. I grew up with a lot of good values. I was taught a lot of good things. But you got some people that wasn't brought up like that. You got some people that wasn't raised that way, to have good values and being kind to people, treating people with respect, helping people whenever you can, and things like that. You have a lot of people that wasn't brought up that way, wasn't raised like that. And then you just have these people that are sociopaths. They have no conscience, and they don't care whether they're using you or not. Then you got people out here that they just be trying to skim and scam. They just trying to skim and scam and just trying to get over on somebody. If they see a window of opportunity to get over on somebody, they will. And so my problem is I have the tendency to be too nice to a fault, to where I put myself, the problem is when you have kind of a giving spirit and you're really, really nice, and people can pick that up about you. And Christians, being a Christian, you can fall into this trap of being a Christian too. Because there's certain values that you have to cultivate when you are trying to be a Christian. So But I was like that before I became a Christian, you know. Because the way I was raised, the way I was brought up, my whole family is like that. But I think that other members of my family know how to draw the line. My problem is I have a hard time drawing a line. And what happens is if people see that you have those qualities and that you're a nice person and you kind of have a giving spirit, they will take advantage of that. If you're in a position to where you're doing something for them, makes no difference what it is, then if they're a type of person that they don't have those values, they're just the opposite of you are, and they don't have those set of values, and their value system is totally different from yours. That's like oil and water. Yeah, everybody know oil and water don't mix. Your set of values is one way. Their set of values is contrary to that. So when you the problem is when you're too nice of a person and you got a giving spirit and you're kind, you run into somebody that has the opposite of those qualities, and they have the tendency and they have this mentality of using and taking advantage. Then they meet up with you, and you're being kind and you're being nice to them and trying to help them. They're going to be put in a position where they're going to take advantage of the situation. And that's where the problems come in. I know I have a tendency to be nice to a fault. And what I mean by be nice to a fault is that I have a issue with drawing a line and guarding myself and protecting myself from people like this. And not putting myself in situations, because what happens is when you're like that, you put yourself in a situation to where you're going to be used, you're going to be taken for granted. You'll be put in a position to where a person is, some people have this sense of entitlement, like you just supposed to do something for them. If you helping them, then they have a sense of entitlement, like you just supposed to do something for them. Like you just supposed to do this, because whatever. Just because they're a human being, you're supposed to do it. And you're not, I ain't got to do nothing for you. Only thing I got to do is stay black, and pay bills and die. Those are the three things that I got to do and serve God. Other than that, no, I ain't got to do nothing. There's the law saying I got to do something for you. So that's where I start having issues when a person is being inappreciative, having a sense of entitlement. And sometimes a lot of times those are the two characteristics that the person has, that they have a sense of entitlement, and it's inappreciation, the mentality where they are not showing any appreciation for what you're trying to do for them. And the problem is when you're like that, when you're being too nice and too giving, you put yourself in a position to be used, to be taken advantage of. At the end of the situation, when it's all said and done, you feel like an idiot because this person used you. And it like you don't draw the line until it's gotten to the point to where you're at your wit's end. Like I have a rope. In every situation, I have a rope. And when I get to the middle of the rope, okay, I'll say I'm in the middle of the rope now. Now, once I get to the end, I'm the type of person that once I get to the end of that rope, I'm done. Well, sometimes it takes a long time for me to get to that end of that rope because I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be nice. But if that person is steady taking advantage of you, and I'm the type of person, I try to see the good in everybody. I try to see I try to look for the good in people. And sometimes if I see a window of goodness in someone, and just because you see a aspect of them that's good, doesn't mean that they don't have all these other qualities, because sometimes those other qualities can override the good qualities that they have. And so that don't let that get you twisted either. If you see a window of goodness, okay, well, what if they got some of these other qualities where they want to skim and scam? They take things for granted. They have a sense of entitlement, a mentality of inappreciation. See, what if they have all those other qualities? They may have some good qualities, and you may see those good things in them. But then what if they have all those other qualities that when you're trying to help them and bless them, they shouldn't be having? If that person don't have a sense of appreciation, and they have a sense of entitlement, the attitude of inappreciation, and a skimming and scamming mentality, those things don't mix. And so it doesn't matter if, okay, well, this quality in them is good, but then you got them other qualities that if they have them, then you're going to be putting yourself in a position, the giver is going to be putting themselves in a position to where they're going to be being used and taken advantage of. And that is not good. And I have the tendency to put myself in those situations. And I think that's why it's important to pray over stuff. It's important to pray over things and make things a matter of prayer before you get yourself involved with someone, or even before you help, because you can't help everybody. That's just the reality of the situation. Particularly if you're trying to be a Christian, of course you want to help people and you want to be a blessing to people. But the reality of that is that you can't help everybody. You can't help it. It's going to be some people that you're not going to be able to help. But why? That person has that mentality. That person has a mentality of skimming and scamming mentality, an inappreciative mentality, a sense of entitlement mentality. You can't help somebody like that. If they have that type of mentality, you can't help them. Because the reason why I say you can't is because they will take advantage of you. They will take advantage of you. They will use you. And they will just keep doing that until you draw the line, until you put your foot down and you say, no more, I can't do this. But then you have to ask yourself, how far am I willing to take this thing? How far am I going to keep allowing this person to skim and scam and use and take advantage of me? So you have to have a line to begin with. You have to have a good sense of you have to have a good sense of character. Be able to, and like I said, it's important to pray about stuff first. Make it a matter of prayer, because sometimes when you pray about stuff, God will show you people. He will show you what type of person this person is. And this car, okay, yeah, I was waiting. Cut your alarm off, please. But a lot of times they will show you what type of he will show you what type of person you dealing with. And so it's very key to pray about stuff first. And sometimes I have a tendency to get into these situations and I don't pray about it. And I just kind of do it because I'm being kind. And then I put myself in a position to where I'm being used. I'm being taken advantage of. And I hate feeling used. I'm the type, I just hate feeling, who wants to feel used? Nobody wants to feel used. I don't think there's a person on this earth that wants to feel used, wants to feel taken advantage of. You know what I mean? So, hit me in the comment section if you have that problem. If you have that problem of being too nice. you're nice to a fault, to the point to where you put yourself in situations to where people are skimming and scamming you, or they're taking advantage of you, or they have this sense of entitlement. Like I hate that. I can't stand that. Having a sense of entitlement, like you're just supposed to help me. This is what you're supposed to do for me. No, I'm not. Or this mentality of inappreciation, not appreciating what you're doing for them. Ungratefulness. I had a friend that stayed with me years ago, and that's a whole nother story. I might tell it another time, but she had some substance abuse problems, mainly drinking, and she was leaving her husband, and she needed a place to stay, and I told her, she was taking me through all kind of different changes in my own house, and I told her, it is your privilege. It is your. It's not your right. That's what I told her. It's not your right to be in my house and be in my presence. It's your privilege. It is not your right. You don't have the right to be in my house. You don't have the right to be in my company. It is a privilege for you to be in my house. It is a privilege for you to have my company. Because guess what? You ain't got to be here. She was running me crazy. So I said, you just don't have to be here. And it was a situation to where she had hooked back up with her ex. And she kept running back and forth to his house. He lived in the country. She kept running back to his house and then coming back to mine. And then, doing all this other stuff I'm just making a long story short. And she had a drinking problem. So finally I told her, I said, you can't come back. Because she kept going to him, and every time they would get into it, he'd be threatening, he'll pull his gun out and be threatening to shoot her and all this. That was a mess. And then she would come back to me, and then finally I just told her, this dysfunctional. This completely. I can't stand to be around a whole bunch of dysfunction. I'm a peaceful person. I can't stand to be around that mess. And so finally, I told her. I said, I'm done. You can't come back. I'm done. But I had to go through a bunch of changes in order to draw that line. That's the problem. I have to. You got to take me around the world and back. I got to go around the world and back with you. Now, I don't mean that literally. I got to go around the world and back with you in order for me to get to the end of my rope. Then I'm at the end of the rope. Once I done been around the world with you and back, then I'm at the end of my rope. Instead of being at the end of my rope before it even gets to that point. Instead of drawing a line before it even gets to that point. And that is one of the side effects of this being too nice. Feeling sorry for people. And that's another one that factors into it with me. I be feeling sorry. I'm quick to feel sorry for somebody. I'm so quick to feel sorry for somebody. And then I go to feeling sorry for you know what I mean? And you just can't do it. You can't. It's going to be some people in this world that you ain't going to be able to help. You can't be feeling sorry for everybody because you pray for them and then keep it moving. Because if you go to feeling sorry for them and everything, and then you try to help them and everything like that, they're trying to use you, trying to take advantage of you. And some people have people like this in their own family, unfortunately, And so that's, you have to know when to draw the line. Because you can pray about it and say, God, help me to draw this line. But you gotta, everybody know that you gotta pray and you gotta work in accordance with your prayers. So God is only going to help you, to a point. So at some point, you got to take responsibility and start taking actions, your own actions. That line has to come before you get to the end of the road, before you go around the world with this person once or twice. before you get to the end of the rope. Because getting to the end of that rope is not good. Because then you're feeling used and taken advantage of and all this kind of stuff. And then once you start helping somebody and you seeing signs of that dysfunction, okay, quickly draw that line. So that's just something I had to make a matter of prayer. And I have to ask Jehovah God to help me with, because I really struggle with that. I'm not a trusting person. I'm not quick to just trust any and everybody. But when I'm at a type of, when you do get to that, in other words, I'm not quick. I'm not a person now. I don't want y'all to misunderstand. I'm not a person that's just quick to trust everybody. But I guess once you earn my trust, once you get past that threshold of earning my trust, and then I start helping you and all this, and see, that's where the problems come in if you skimming and scamming and taking advantage and all that type of thing. So there's such a thing as being too nice. Being too nice, being nice to a fault. And that is the issues that come along with that. Okay, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you have this problem, or you know somebody that has this problem. Maybe you have a friend that has this problem and you be trying to tell them, girl, you know, they might be dealing with a man like that, or they might be dealing with a friend like that, or a relative like that. But you be trying to tell them, girl, they taking advantage of you. This and that. What are you doing? Why are you putting up with this? Da, 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 da. So let me know if you have a friend that's like that, or you know somebody that's like that, or you yourself is like that. Hit me up in the comment section. I want to hear your story. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, like, and share. Until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet Joe. Gotta get in the store before they close.